doing? Welcome to the Sticks tape. I'm coming from the Red Lake Reservation, Minnesota State, yeah.
Bemidji is very unique. We are surrounded by 3 Indian reservations.
That's White Earth, Leech Lake, and Red Lake.
All tribes are situated on reservations, and all tribes exercise their status of sovereignty, a government-to-government relationship. When you cross that border like you did today, you are going into a sovereign nation.
A nation has a history, a nation has its own language, a nation has its own governance and its own land base. We're a nation, not ethnic minorities.
But the American Indians are just like many other oppressed groups. We've suffered a lot of historical trauma and oppression throughout the years.
Although the Beltrami County, where Bemidji is the county seat, is 20% American Indian. Bemidji's had a reputation of being kind of racist.
We're not just up against like personal prejudice, or we're not just up against individual choices. It's a whole structural thing. All these inequities that are built into the very fabric of our country. We've had genocide, and we've had forced relocation, and we've had colonization, and we've had mission schools and boarding schools.
It took a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of community on initiatives to start having an education of understanding of how this nation has operated.
Being that we're in the Ojibwe reservation, I'd like to see Ojibwe culture and language taught in all school systems. And what that does is give people identity. And when you have identity, you have pride, and you hold yourself as a strong person.
When you learn the truth about yourself and your past, it's like filling up a hole that is in your head and in your heart.
Here at Leech Lake Tribal College, we value the Anishinaabe history, culture, language, and customs. This is grounded in the very mission of our college. A lot of our faculty are actually born and raised around here. They know what the situation is like for our students that are coming here.
Well, my mother and my sister have graduated from here. I have aunts and uncles that teach here. It's really homey here. Our children are welcome in the classrooms with us if we aren't able to get childcare for them. And it's just the overall being a part of our culture, learning more, being involved, having them opportunities that you won't have at other colleges.
Our strong point at Red Lake is our culture and our language, Ojibwe language. Our students can sit right there in Red Lake, don't have to travel to White Earth, don't have to travel to Leech Lake, don't even have to travel to BSU. A couple years down the road, we'll be able to get a 4-year degree at the college. And Red Lake, right there.
Red Lake is a big piece of District 2A and District 7. And so the people's voice here really matters. The age demographic of 18 to 30 in Red Lake is the highest populated demographic in Red Lake, and it's also the lowest voting demographic. So I like to take it as part of my responsibility to get that age of people to vote more.
The Political Education Committee has been in formation since 1996.
We're working to register people to vote and then get them out to vote.
In 2002, 40 to 50% of the voting population turned out for elections. As we've progressed in our efforts, we reach up to 90 to maybe 98% voter turnout.
I think Native Americans take voting very seriously because we were probably the last citizens in 1924 that were granted the right to vote. Although we were the first citizens here on the land, if it wasn't for Native Americans voting in high numbers, I wouldn't be where I am today.
All politics are local. And if we ever change anything, that's probably where it's going to have to start. But so the Indians have been dealing with the feds forever.
The federal government decides a lot of things for Native people. And if we're not at the table, how are we able to have some sort of control over, what they say, what they present to us, what they ask of us? That's why 50 is not good enough. That's why 60 is not good enough. That's why 70 is not good enough. We want 100% of the people to say, here's what's good for us. Here's what we want you to say. Here's the message we want you to carry to Washington.
We as Native Americans understand, the political power that we have beyond election day.
I think that it takes a lot of courage to change systems, and also to have a really good analysis of why the system is as it is. And it's set up to be divisive so that people are kept poor and powerless, really. And racism is the tool of that. When people start to kind of really see the system for what it is, then there is more of a sense of solidarity across racial lines to really build collective power.
Historically, tribal governments and county governments haven't really worked together. In the past, it seemed like it was always us and them, you know. But now we're kind of getting into a phase of it's all of us, you know, working together for a common goal.
There are various things that Bemidji has been doing of late to bridge the gap between American Indians and mostly white folks here in Bemidji. With the new chairman at Red Lake, he's been reaching out to other entities. Recently we had a co-meeting, first time in 20 years maybe, that the Tribal Council has sat down with the county commissioners, and also they met with the Bemidji City Council.
I'm glad with the progress that we're making, with the collaboration that we are having between the county and tribe.
So we have to share and educate, and that is what the dominant culture needs to also step in.
We have learned the power of networking with other groups that may not be exactly as we are, but that have a piece of the puzzle.
Our 7 basic values requires us to be leaders in our communities that are not necessarily Indian. And speaking out, standing up, getting a place at that table when we never had that place before.
The problems didn't originate in our communities, but the solutions reside there.